lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, and I usually don't say good morning. And I imagine by the time this video is posted, it'll be late afternoon. But I'm filming in the morning because I've got plans tonight, and I wanted to get this up and listed for everybody. So I have a bunch of things here that are going to be for sale. Well, actually, they're all for sale right now in the Old Curiosity Shop. It's a small haul, but I plan on doing several small hauls over the next few days. We haven't had the dancing cup of coffee in a while, so let's zoom in and say...
A cup of coffee, a sandwich, and you, a cozy corner, a table for two.
And actually, today's cup of coffee is not a cup of coffee at all. It's hot tea. And it's down there in a vintage Syracuse restaurant-ware coffee cup and saucer. Now, I'm going to start with this because this is the only thing... Well, that's not for sale, of course. And these aren't either. And you may be wondering, Scott, what is this mess? What are you possibly going to do with these in this deplorable condition? What were they? What's missing? How are you going to restore these? Well, I'm teasing because I want you to stay tuned until tomorrow night when I'll be back. And you'll see exactly what I'm going to do with these. I think you'll be surprised. Okay, up for sale is a little Morris the cat. This was just fun. You know, I really don't normally buy new things, but I couldn't say no to poor old Morris. So he's really clean and in good condition. I wonder what happened to him. A couple of pearlescent lusterware salt and pepper shakers. We're heading into the season of formal family dinners. And since we're all sitting 6 feet apart, we need extra salt and pepper shakers so that we don't have to reach across the table. Here's a beautiful set. Nicely, thickly gilded on the top, encrusted there in gold. Probably Japan. Corks are missing. And a beautiful pearlescent or opalescent look to the finish there in the center. Those are both in really good condition. Now, if I'm old enough to remember these, so are you. Because these things were still hanging around when I was a boy in the 1970s. You remember these old aluminum ice cube trays? Well, I've got 2 of them for sale, and they're in really good condition. I actually had to make ice out of one just for the fun of it, and I drank some iced tea with those funny little shaped ice cubes that you only get from these old aluminum ice cube trays. These are unbranded, so I'm not sure who made them, but most of us remember these from the old Frigidaire refrigerators. And this was pretty standard in the 1950s and 60s, and they were lingering around in the 70s, from what I remember. Now, this could have been made by a number of glass companies. These swung vases were first popular just after the turn of the century, so about 1908, 1910, 1912, 1915. And this is a pretty one. Nice for winter time, I think. It's got a nice opalescent... why is that cabinet door open? We don't need to look in there. It has a really pretty opalescent color. I think that's showing up pretty well in this bright light. It is clean on the inside, as you can see. And these are swung vases, so I think you know they're turned upside down and swung. Not stretched. You'll sometimes see these listed as stretch glass, but as you well know, stretch glass is a completely different type of glass. So a swung vase, not from the 60s, but from all the way back around 1912 or so. And as I said, everybody made them. Dugan, Diamond, US Glass, Fenton, Imperial, Northwood, on and on and on. That's a nice, what is that, about 13 inches or so? No damage on it. Really, really pretty for wintertime decorating, I think. Yes? Lusterware. What is always broken or always missing from those lusterware sets, you guessed it, the teapot. So when I find lusterware teapots that are in good condition with no damage, I purchase them. Now this one has a few little scratches on the front, which is typical for lusterware, but this is made, I shouldn't really pick it up by the spout. I heard you screaming at me. I'm going to turn it around and do it the correct way. So I'm actually going to pick it up correctly by the handle. I wasn't raised in a barn. Boy, it's in beautiful condition, and it's made in Czechoslovakia. So it's nice, thick, heavy porcelain. Some of the Japanese lusterware is paper thin, and I mean eggshell thin. This is a nice, thick, heavy one. I love the black, the blue, and the orange. Not even a flea bite on that spout. And there's a beautiful plate, just one plate, so you can serve your ginger snaps on that or use it as an underplate for the teapot. Now these are pretty typical colors, and so if you have a lusterware set with no teapot, chances are your set may be this color scheme. For whatever reason, it was pretty much the most popular color scheme of lusterware. I think we can see the mark better on the plate. And it says Laurel, I think it says Laurel Ware, something, Czechoslovakia, Laurel Leaf Lusterware. I really like the black touch on there as well. So, nice pot. Let's move this to the front and take a close-up look at it. It's a beautiful jewelry casket, as they're known, when they have these hinged lids on the back. You can call it a jewelry box if you want, but I think they're usually referred to as jewelry caskets. I shouldn't say silver plate because, as you can see, the silver plate is long gone. But I'm so glad nobody has repainted this. And look down deep into the crevices. You see that old dust? We love that as collectors, don't we? It takes years for beautiful old dust to accumulate like that. I can dust my place and 1 hour later the dust is back again. I don't know where all that dust comes from. But it's really pretty on this piece here. And it's in good condition. There are no cracks on the metal. And it's not made of cheap pot metal. I guess I should get my hand out of the way because you can't really see it. Slide all this stuff back. Bring it over here some. Probably dates to right around 1900, maybe the 1890s, maybe 1910. Originally the inside would have had a beautiful silk lining, which they're either tattered, extremely filthy, or missing, and of course it's missing on this one. But we have a nice strong hinge there on the lid, which means you have no issues with using it. It is unbranded, and I really checked this thing all over to see if maybe it was marked. and I can't find a maker's mark on it. But it's a really pretty jewelry casket, and there's a lot you could do with that. I really like this warm old patina that you see, even though the silver is gone. Now these pieces over here are made by the Sebring Pottery Company in Ohio, and we'll see the marks are a little bit different on all three of them. The glaze is called Golden Maze, but this particular pattern is called Poppy. And it may look the same, but it is not the same as the... I wish that... Hold on, folks. I'm working on a clock. I took the pendulum out, and that's the reason why it is chiming about every 2 minutes, because it's ticking like mad. I'm trying to get the spring to wind down. Back to this. There's crazing on the glaze as usual. This is a sugar bowl, and I had this listed as a buy it now, and I'm assuming someone who has this pattern will be looking for the sugar bowl and they'll pick it up. It's marked nicely here. The Poppy, now that's going to be the pattern. Golden Maze is this beautiful colored, yellow colored glaze, almost like a vellum, and we can see Sebring Pottery Company. They also made pieces which they sold to Farber Brothers in Brooklyn, and then Farberware would make these wonderful metal frames, metal rims and handles and everything, and it would be marketed. We can see if we turn... Now these match. If we turn these upside down, we'll see it. Again, we see Golden Maze made for Farberware. You see that? And then somewhere on the metal, which I'm not going to try to get it to focus, it will say either Farberware or Farber Brothers in Brooklyn. I'll stand back up so you can have a better look. So 1930s, beautifully made, as you can see. And these two pieces I'm selling together as a matching pair. Be good to serve nuts in. Yeah. Alright, so let's put these two over here. That's separate, but these two go together. This over here, of course, is a little Japan spice set. The wooden, there was a little wooden shelf that came with these. The wooden shelf is no longer with this little set. And two of them are damaged, just two. The salt has a chip right there. We'll focus. Okay, there's a chip on the top of the back. And it is cracked right here. Now it's a pretty, I mean, it's not falling apart. You could certainly still could use it as a kitchen set. And I think Clove has a crack. Yeah, Clove has more of a serious crack right there. And the crack also goes here to the back. So, and right across the bottom. So that's a serious problem with Clove, but the 6 of them are there, and they're nice for display or whatever else you might want to use them for in your kitchen. And then an old piece of Pyrex. Remember, I think it was 1915 when Pyrex was patented and came on the scene. We think of it from the 1960s, but it's been around for a while. This set, or casserole dish, actually dates to the early 1920s. Now, the patent date on the bottom is May of 1919, and I'll try to get you to see that. But if you go to the auction site, you'll see much better pictures, and you'll see the Pyrex mark on the bottom. I love the old lids and the wonderful handles that were on the old Pyrex. It's beautifully etched. It's a small casserole, very small. So, there's the old Pyrex mark on the bottom, which we may be able to see. We'll try to get it to focus in there. Okay, there's the old Pyrex, and then the patent date on there of 1919. I think it's May the 27th, possibly, of 1919. Nice and clean, beautiful piece, and I always love the little metal holders or carriers that come with them that were usually chrome plated. Very elegant way to bring this to the table. So if you have a Pyrex collector who has everything, but maybe not dipping all the way back into the infancy of the company, that might be a nice piece. And I like the size of it because it's very, very small. Perfect for two. Okay, I'll back up. That's it. That's my small thrift haul for today. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night and find out what am I going to do with those. I'm going to finish this coffee and bid you farewell. Thanks for watching, everyone. The link to the shop is in the description box below. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. So long for now.